wheels. Now then, crew, and welcome back to the Andy Mechanic YouTube channel. Now, in this video, I'm doing some more work on Toolgirl Sarah's GSXR750 of the 1999 vintage, and it's about the same up until about 2006. So this kind of work sort of covers all those years of this bike, basically. Now, Sarah did me a huge list of things to do, and I've been working my little socks off today, getting all this done for her, trying to keep her happy. We've got the head bearings, they've been done. There's a video covering changing one of the front brake discs, the one that got bent. The other one's like brand new, so that's why we only fitted one. I know it's a bit weird, but budget's budget, and at $330 odd each, it's only getting one. I've just done a video covering changing the rear brake disc, and now I've got to fit new brake pads, and this will be the last video for today. Okay, so without further ado, let's head over to the bike. In fact, before we head over to the bike, let's have a quick look at the brake pads. So the pads we've got, I'm going to use are Frodo's, and these are a sintered type brake pad. Now the ones that are in there aren't too bad, but you know, I'm fitting a new disc, so you should always fit new pads whenever you fit a new brake disc. And hey, Sarah can keep the old pads in a spares box when she's out touring around New Zealand over the next couple of years. And when these ones wear out and she hasn't got any money because you know she's just touring and it's tight on the budget, then she can always refit those almost new rear brake pads, and they'll keep her going. But to get it through certification, it has to be bang on. So new brake pads it is. Right, okay, over to the bike. Oh, part number, what is it? It's an FDB 338 ST. ST for sintered. Right, okay, now it's time to go to the bike and do some work and get my hands even more grubby. Here we go. Okay, so from doing the rear disc, and you see the old shiny disc in the background, I didn't tighten up all of these bolts tight because I just wanted to put the caliper in the right position so that when I tighten the wheel spindle, this bracket was in the correct position. So, if all goes to plan, I should just be able to undo those with my fingers. At least this one. Get these undone. These were, I did a little bit tighter, I suppose. Okay. Oh, there you go. That's one. Two. Excellent. Okay, so what have we got inside? Let's have a little look. Well, we've got a couple of, well actually it's one big clip. It looks like two little R clips, the bridge between them. So we're going to need sort of long nose pliers. Yeah. Okay. Working very close to the camera today for some reason. Yeah, that's one. Two. So you can see what's inside there, look. Okay. Now that they're out, we should be able to pull those pins through there. As long as the pads don't stick to it. There we go, that's one. Jeez. No copper paste on there, is there? It was due a service, wasn't it? There we go. Two. Right, now those pads should come out. One. Two. Okay, now on the back, they've got these little clips. Not seen that before. What that will do is it will push down. Those clips sit, by the looks of it, underneath the springs, the pins that sit through here. So these pins basically go through like that. One there, and then, oh, wow, one in there. What that does, it stops the pad from rattling inside the caliper. Cool. Oh, and there's also a little metal plate, but maybe we don't need that. We'll have a look at the new pads. Okay, to the bench. Right, so those pins need a really good clean up with some memory cloth or sandpaper, get all the rust off, and then we'll put some copper paste on there. Right, got these two little clips to take off, and then we've got these little anti-rattle shim things to go on the back. And then you want a bit of a clean, they're all covered in crap, aren't they? But those pads don't look too bad, so I'll give those a clean for Sarah, and they can go in a little spares box, I reckon. Okay, let's give these a clean first. And what these will do, because they're only sort of half onto the piston, they'll cause the pad, when it makes contact with the disc, to be slightly offset and slightly at an angle, and that will make the brake slightly more progressive. It won't sort of bite and lock the back end up uncontrollably. So it is quite important that these go back on again, especially if she's going to be riding in all weathers. I imagine on the racetrack they won't bother with these things because the riders, well, they're that much better, aren't they? But, you know, it's always good for on the road to keep this kind of stuff in there. More often than not, these things get thrown away, and some people wonder why the brakes squeak, and you know, back end's a bit harsh to control. There we go. Cool. That'll do. Bit of dirt around the top doesn't matter too much because that's not in contact with the pad, or is it? Oh, it is. Hang on. Let's give it a clean then. Let's not be too lazy. Mr. Young, you're such a perfectionist. There we go, that's one. I've got really grubby hands today. It's not like me. So looking forward to getting back in the workshop. I've been out on the road all week and it's gets you down after a while. Right, miss the tools. And the tool girls, to be fair. Okay, right, so we can fit these onto the pads now. 1, 2. Now when you've got grubby hands like me, try not to touch the surface of the brake pad. That's pretty important. We want to try and keep those as, you know, uncontaminated as possible. So what we'll do, steal that bit of cardboard. Now that we've covered this thing in dirt and grime, we'll use a bit of cardboard, stick it on there. Now this is more of an automotive thing, but I do it on bikes as well. That's going to sit on there like that. And there should be copper paste on both sides of this. It helps to cut down any kind of possible brake squeal, so we'll stick that one on there. And we'll stick some more down here, look. And not many bike mechanics do this. So maybe I've got it from working on cars, but it definitely works. And bikes suffer from squealy brakes just like cars do. Right, so that's one. There's a bit of plastic. Stick it on there, look. Don't want to contaminate it. Right. And number 2. Okay, this one goes the other way around. So don't forget, this is a fixed caliper. It's got pistons both sides. So it's important that we do the job right. And this only has to be a very thin layer. Don't go pasting tons on, because if you do, it'll only end up on your brake disc. Then you ain't going to be stopping, are you? Not very well. There we go. Okay. So the next job, put those to one side. God, it's like here's one I prepared earlier. Very strange. The next job is to clean up those pins. Let's not lose those springs. And just a bit of emery cloth. Just give them a bit of a clean up. if you're feeling flush, just buy new pins, you know, you don't have to use the old ones. But quite often it gets forgotten. And the idea is these should be nice and smooth, and you've got to put some copper paste on these as well, so that those pads can slide from side to side freely, so that when you release the brake, they don't rub on the disc anymore. Instead, they move away without any, they don't apply any force to the disc surface. So your disc will last a lot longer, your pads will last longer, and your bike will go faster, and it won't make any squealy noises. It's pretty good, isn't it? It's a win-win, isn't it, really? There we go, that'll do. Don't have to go all the way to the ends. Only where the pads run, really. Almost there, crew. Almost there. Hang in me. Hang in there. You can do it. Right. Okay. We'll stick copper paste on those when we actually come to put them in, or otherwise it'll end up all over my fingers. Now, these little springs, they just sit on the pad like that. We've got to push them down. We put the pins through. Got to remember that. I'll only forget, guarantee it. There we go. Right. Okay, we've got our pads, got our pins, got our copper paste. Let's head over to the bike. Okay, so with these being brand new pads, I've just got to push the pistons a bit further back in. There we go. Now, if there's any kind of real resistance on these pistons, then you might have to pop them out and give them a good clean, but that's not too bad. Okay. If I find that the brake's binding later on, then I'll have to strip this caliper down and give them a bit of a clean. But that's not this video. Okay, so the pins go in from this end because there's no holes. They're a blind hole this side. And the pads are identical. So pop that in there like that. Trying to keep well away. Oh, hang on. Mr. Young, you're terrible. We need to give it a clean inside there, don't we? Because the pads slide along that surface there and it's all covered in crap. So let's get the brake cleaner. You can see that I'm looking forward to my tea, that's what it is. Yeah, it's so useful having a camera with a decent light on it. You know what? I'm using my S6 phone. It's a Samsung phone. I've done every single one of my videos. And there's over 400 videos using this phone to film. Bloody good, isn't it? No posh cameras. It just does the trick. Oh, that's better. Look at that. Okay. This side. I think we need some more spray. Okay. Pretty gummed up in there, wasn't it? It's actually supposed to be silver. I thought it was the same finish as what's on the outside, but it's not. Give the old piston a bit of a clean as well while we're in there. Looks so much better now. Oh, I've got an eyeful. Just a bit more blind than I normally am. Okay. Whoa, that's brilliant. I reckon you're all happy with that now, aren't you? I know I am. It's pretty good. And it doesn't take long, so do it. Okay. Now, where were we? Oh yes, we were going to install the pad. Now, because the pad, the end of the pad runs, you can see all the grime on there already, runs inside there. There should be copper paste along the sides. So we'll do that. So what we're trying to do is give these pads the best possible chance of essentially floating and moving from side to side. towards the disc and away from the disc with ease and the minimum resistance. That's the plan. Okay, so we'll pop that in there. Super. And now we need the other pad. And again, you only want very, very small amounts of copper paste. And you don't want it on the pad friction material, that's for sure. There we go. Super. It's like painting, isn't it? Okay. Wipe it down your trousers, Mr. Young. Why not? Okay, so that goes in there like that. Get them lined up-ish. Now don't worry about them being together because we can move them later on. Now, let's leave that hanging for a bit more. Yes, I know it's hanging on the hydraulic hose, but this thing weighs nothing. And we now need to put some paste on the pins. If we don't, they'll only rust again anyway. So just a thin smear of copper paste all the way around that pin. The same on the other one. There we go. Now, don't forget the pin has a little tiny hole in it, and that's for your R-clip, and the R-clip goes to the outside of the caliper, so that's got to go in there like that with the hole at this end. Okay. Now, the next job, it's not easy, is it? Next job is to just massage that spring down, get the pin through. Let's get the other pin in first to hold that pad. Oh, wrong way around, Mr. Young. Jeez, what you like? Got to watch yourself sometimes. Now we'll get a little flat screwdriver just to push that spring down, I think. Okay. Go on, you can do it, mister. There we are. Right, so you can see now how that clip goes. It sits underneath the pins, both sides. That's some good photography going on. Especially for the last video of the day. You should be honoured. Right, so we'll just lift that pad up now. The other pad, then we can see what we need to do. Oh, don't fall off. There we go. Right. To push that down there. The first one's easy, he says. Complete confidence. There we go. So the first one's now under that pin. We can push that pin all the way through now. Oh, come on, mister. There we go. Yeah, it's definitely under. Right. So what we'll do, so we'll just slide that one all the way down. So it's now in position. Then hopefully nothing's going to fall out. Right, flat screwdriver. Push the pads across again. Oh, it's fallen off. Damn you. Get back on. Things are always a bit fiddly. I'm sure that the manufacturers designed it to be fiddly just so we can charge more labour to the customer. Hang in there. Hey, come back. Found it. Don't worry. Okay, hook it under there, over there. And then for the fun bit, getting that tucked down there without it flying across the workshop. Screwdriver's so oily. Right, rest it against the tyre. Push it down. Is it under? Not quite. There we go. It is now. Okay, we'll get that pin lined up with the hole. There we go. Give it a twizzle around so the hole's lined up for the R-clip. Push that one down. Line the hole up for the R-clip. Wherever it is. There it is. Cool. So you can see now, these clips are all underneath those pins, and the holes of the retaining pin lined up vertically. So now, all we need to do, without firing it across the workshop, is to pop our sort of dual R-clip thing back in. There we go. And that's it. Done. Pretty easy. Right, with a nice clean screwdriver, we're just going to move those pads apart so we can get them on the disc. There we go. Okay, and I've got my finger wedged between the pads to keep them open. Then we can drop it over the disc and up into position. Right, so I'm going to stick one of the bolts in, even though it's got no copper, it hasn't got any thread lock on it yet. It's just going to hold everything in place. Jeez, I'm not kneeling down today. These are killing me. Okay, so thread lock on these bolts. Now they're nice and dry. There's no oil on them, so I don't need to clean them up. There's a bit of thread lock. Look, that's all you need, a little tiny bit. Line up the caliper. You must always start these by hand. If you go and buzz one of these in with an electric rattle gun or any kind of power tool, you risk destroying the threads. And then things get really expensive, don't they? You know, a few seconds longer, take your time doing it, do a good job. Okay. Right, that's those two. And then we've just got this retaining bolt. Now this has got some grease on it, so I'm going to give that a good clean and then put some thread lock on those threads. Where's my rag? There we are. Super. Okay, right, thread lock. And I use the Loctite 222, and I have no problems at all with that. Oh, look at that. It even lines up. Fantastic. Okay, but make sure we've got thread lock on the end. Yes, we have. Cool, that's where the nut goes. Oh, come back. Okay, there should be some torque settings. I'll go and find out what they are. Right, I'm back. I've got some more stuff out of the manual. Now, these two should be 26 Newton meters. So I'll do those first. Just get them all down finger tight first. There we go, right. 26, here we go. You usually get over tight with these things. Perfect. Now, that one should be, according to the manual, 35 Newton meters. And it's a 14mm socket. There we go. Right, hold the nut. Fantastic. Always remember to back off your torque wrench when you finish using it. I tell my students 1,000 times to do that. They still left them wound up. Right, back to the bench. Okay, well, we can tick off another bit of Toolgirl Sarah's monster list of things to fix. Rear brake pads. Done. So it's the last video for today. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing the sorting out the problem with the flasher relays, or the flashers, the indicators on the bike flashing too fast. And I've got an electronic relay to go in there. Hopefully it's the right one. I've got a repair to do on the headlight assembly. The bike fell off a hoist, it all got smashed. There's no mountings on it, they've all got broken off, so I've got to fabricate mountings, glue them on, rivet them on, whatever. What else have we got to do? I've got to refit the front fairings, straighten the upper fairing bracket. All that got twisted and bent. It's aluminium, so I can't weld it. I've got to adjust, an easy one. The rear brake light switch just needs adjusting. 2-minute job, dead easy. I've then got to fit, after it's been certified, and hopefully it will pass, I've then got to fit a really cool little trailer that goes on the back of this bike. That'll be awesome. Can't wait to do that. And yeah, compliance. So compliance will be before I fit the trailer. I'm not taking it for compliance, the trailer on the back. No way, Jose. That's going to open a whole can of worms. Okay, well, hopefully you found this video helpful of how to fit new brake pads to the rear brake on a 1999 Suzuki GSXR750. And this would apply to any bikes from 99 to 2006. I believe they all have the same parts, so hopefully, you know, it should apply to quite a wide range of bikes. And the principle for a fixed caliper is the same, really, as what I've done in this video. Just, you know, take note of what you've got, remember how things go, try and understand why the components are there, and don't forget, the important thing is those pads should be able to move in and out very freely, so you have to lubricate them. Well, if you enjoyed the video, why not click on the subscribe button, and then you can turn on notifications, and our friends down at YouTube will send you an email as and when I upload any new videos. You'll also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Google+, and Twitter. Feel free to communicate through any of those portals. There's also a new Patreon page. Drop onto that. There's a bit more information, background stuff about the YouTube channel and up and coming projects as well. And, you know, you can always donate if you like. Okay, crew. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers. Over and out. Until girl Sam. How are you?
Back.
You're back. Fantastic.
So
I know, and I've got a new shirt, so I thought it's only right that I give you a new shirt too. So there you go.
So excited for my new shirt, and I don't have to wear different shirts every day. And as a classic Tool Girl Sam move, I am going to wear it like this. Wow, would you look at that? I'd say that is a great present for your girlfriend if she's into tools. If she's not, she's probably into tools because you're a tool. See what I did there? Tool girl shirt, perfect.